Hi Sagittarius, my name is Spence. Welcome to Sophquest. This is a weekly reading for you for the week of November 1st through the 7th. It is a new moon week and we're going to talk about that and a little bit of the other astrological influences this week as we go through the reading. But let me show you the decks we're using today. We're going to go with the Sacred Earth Oracle by Tony Carmine Salerno and Leela J. Williams with the artwork of Helena Nelson Reed. I think it's a beautiful deck and I love the autumn tones and colors. Beautiful. And I'm also using the Thelema Tarot, and this is by Renata Lechner. So I hope you enjoy those decks. So let's jump in. I'll start shuffling for you, and we'll talk a little bit about the week. So on the first day of the week, Monday, we're going to have Mercury, the planet of the intellect and communication, trining Jupiter, which is beautiful energy. It opens our minds. It opens up dialogue. It can help us find a way to build a bridge of communication with someone. So that's a good thing. I like that for Monday. On Tuesday, then Mercury squares Pluto. So it brings in a little bit of tension enough to discuss issues or problems and do some problem solving. I like that a lot. We just have to be careful of power struggles, right? Because all of us need to be seen and heard. So as long as we remember that on Tuesday, I think it's good energy for problem solving. Then a couple days later on Thursday is that beautiful new moon. It's a new moon in Scorpio. This could be new surfacing feelings from the deep about what you really desire and how to begin that for the next month, right? Every new moon is about what you want to do over the month and then also the full moon of what you're letting go of emotionally. So what it is emotionally processing or transmuting our energy from month to month. Right? From new moon to new moon, from full moon to full moon. And that's kind of how we process our emotional body and keep it sort of cleansed and cleared, right? So we're not repressing things and shoving things down and moving the energy and kind of allowing ourselves to get in alignment and in the flow of the energy that we're in, the season that we're in. It really helps us do that. Okay, so that's sort of the way it's going to go for the new moon. I think you're going to like it. I think it's a nice new moon. It is an emotional time, Scorpio. It's a time of deep bonds, of trust and intimacy and privacy. It's the stuff we usually don't talk about. So it begins with family patterns, that kind of thing. So a lot of issues could come up, but it helps us to kind of process them, right? Process through them. So that's the new moon on the 4th. Then the 5th, the very next day, Mercury, that fast planet moving through into Scorpio, coming into the season of Scorpio, helping us talk about those feelings. All right, and then Venus, also the planet of love and money, moves into Capricorn, helping us to get very grounded with the earth sign of Capricorn, helping us to realize, bring into reality and realize some long-term plans that we want to do with love, money, beauty, whatever. Okay? So that's some Venus action at the end of the week on Friday. All right, let's pull you a sacred oracle. That's the one that wanted to come right there. And it is formation. Formation, Sagittarius. All right, let me just pull this card for you. Your sign card that I have there. There we go. Sagittarius, formation. Have you look at that artwork for just a moment? It's beautiful. These paintings are so creamy and dreamy. I love them. Aren't they beautiful? Formation. See what makes you think of, right, Sag? Okay. So how is Scorpio season going for you so far, right? Scorpio can be pretty deep for you, Sag, because, of course, it's your 12th house. Right? And that is deep stuff. That's a lot of karmic things in the hidden, in the secret, in the subconscious, in the superconscious, in the intangible realm for you. So it can be pretty deep, right? It can make you feel rather intense. That's potential, right? All right. So I'm starting to pull your cards now. I'm going to get one that popped out and get one more. I like to get one or two and then cut the cards. There we go. Nice. All right, I'm going to tell you what each of these cards are. I'm going to show you every card on the table. We're going to read horizontally, vertically, and big picture today. So settle in with me, Sagittarius, if you would. Let's do some relaxing, deep breathing. Get some oxygen in the brain, right? Helps us to lower our cortisol, which lowers the stress. It helps us to feel better. All right, I see the Strength card, the Nine of Wands, and the Ten of Swords. I think you have been going through it. 12th house, Scorpio stuff. The deep, dark water, right? Can be ancestral patterns, family patterns that we want to cleanse and clear and let go of. How was that full moon for you in Aries? I think that was probably very deep. And even now, as that moon, that bright full moon, has slowly but surely waned to its smallest light, now a new moon cycle begins. So that whole process of going from the full moon waning to that little sliver is the shedding process, right? So it takes sort of 2 weeks to fully let go and release that energy. So if you've been feeling that way, and I think you have, it's looking brighter. You're getting through it. And you will do so, I think, well, Sagittarius. Get back to you a little bit. You will be coming into your season in just a few weeks, too. So coming into your solar return will feel better as well. Yeah. You're really trying to figure out what you're feeling and why. I think it's very deep for you. And maybe you aren't used to doing that, to sitting still long enough to really do some of that deep diving. So instead, maybe you go into emotional neutral a little bit, is kind of what I'm seeing. You're really trying to stay strong and take care of business at home. You had to be emotionally strong. You may have been dealing with some issues at home or with your home, potentially. And you may have also been feeling a bit defensive lately if you've been in sort of an argumentative mood because you've been moody while others are moody during this time in Scorpio season. That's sort of a hallmark as well, especially for people who aren't necessarily really comfortable when it comes to showing or discussing, sharing their feelings. We can get very moody, can't we? Because we're kind of riding the waves of those emotions inside. And that can make us sort of repel the energy of others because our own energy can be so intense, which can cause argumentation, right? I'm seeing that a little bit. And I think you're letting go of that. And if there was any arguments, I think that you regret them and you're going to make that right with people, or they will with you. I'm seeing that too. All right, let's look at formation today for you. Your card here. Formation. It says, let emotions settle before you scramble into action. Okay, isn't that the perfect preface for the reading? Because that's kind of what I'm seeing. Observe and reserve judgment until all has been revealed. Allow a situation to unfold in its own time and space with minimal interference. It is going to get better. Play with your sense of self, challenge it, add to it, pull it apart, bounce it off of other people, and take on new form. So kind of allow yourself to emotionally level up by examining your emotions in a way of stillness that maybe you're not used to, right? Again, doing that deep dive. Maybe riding those waves a little bit more than you would have previously because they're uncomfortable, and instead maybe feel those feelings or look at your feelings, especially your recent feelings and the things you've been going through, and ask yourself some really important questions, I think. It says the process of self-discovery deepens and strengthens your spiritual connection to life, earth, and the universe. Expansion means deepening emotions, questioning your reality, and scrutinizing the meaning of life. Right? Are we not talking about that? Gradually you come to your own truths, and gradually you let them go as you embrace even more profound realizations. Every precious, miraculous moment of your life has the capacity to transform you. So where in the past you may have felt something that was painful, you can look at it with different eyes, with a little bit more curiosity. What can I learn from this, and how can I integrate it into my wisdom, right? And that way, when I revisit the memory of what that feeling was about, it isn't as painful anymore. Instead, it's brought me wisdom. That's kind of what I'm seeing. So the formation of, the formation of how you allow your feelings to create inside of you a kind of self-discovery as you go through them, as you transmute them, right? Okay, on the bottom of the deck, because we're looking deep here with the Hermit card, and we're seeing deep truth with the Ace of Swords. Deep truth is forming inside of you, a self-discovery that you needed to let go of a way of either thinking or feeling or being, and that's good. That's growth. We all do that, don't we? It's a process, and every month with these lunations, if we are healthy, emotionally healthy, we transmute our feelings, right? With new moons and full moons, the way that the stars and planets move the water in our body, right? It moves through our body, those emanations, those reverberations, the energy moves in time-space, right? In the quantum field, cellularly, in through our bodies like osmosis, and it moves our water and it comes out in our feelings. So we're feeling the energy of the earth, the feeling the energy of people, and transmuting it. And as we do this, we get better and better and better at it. We emotionally mature and level up as we go, the older and older we get. And hopefully the wiser and wiser we get about our feelings and what they teach us, how they inform us. And then you can come into an emotional neutral where it's like, I'm a little overwhelmed by the emotions and I'm not sure I want any new thing to come up right now. Right now I just want to stay as steady as possible. But there's a new thing trying to come in, and it's a formation, it's an understanding of self that maybe might require you to process through your emotions a little bit more than you probably want to. And that's why I think the Ace of Swords, an aha moment, perhaps Monday and Tuesday with Mercury trining Jupiter and squaring Pluto, asking you to think a little bit deeper about it, about what you're feeling and why. That's what the Hermit does. The Hermit is willing to sacrifice time with people and, you know, even being comfortable in order to become a little uncomfortable, right? The Hermit represents the 40 days and 40 nights in the desert. And when we do this, we are willing to get just uncomfortable enough to gain wisdom. That's the lantern of hope and light with the star inside, helping us to walk through our destiny, our life path, or the hero's journey, right? Which is what the tarot represents. So archetypally, you are doing this every month. We are processing our feelings, learning from them, understanding what we are learning from our seasons, from season to season, all the way around the zodiac. And in Scorpio, it's deep. It's deep stuff, right, Sag? All right, let's go across the top. We've got the Strength card and the Nine of Wands. You've had to be very, very strong. And the Ten of Swords. But now it's time to have processed what it is that you needed to. You've thought about it long enough. It was a difficult and painful lesson. You might have gone through it with a bit of defensiveness, feeling like you needed to protect yourself for whatever reason, and it exhausted you. In other words, it was hard. It wasn't easy what you have been through recently, and you had to be really strong. It takes bravery to do this work, right? Going inside, asking ourselves, what is this Ten of Swords about? Why did I allow myself to think in that way? Or why did I think that way because of what I was feeling? The struggle, the difficulty. Well, I mean, all of us have been through this kind of difficulty in 2021 because we had so many planets, 6, I don't even remember how many planets in retrograde. That's a lot of internal work. With Chiron, the wounded healer in Aries the whole time, asking us, what is the wound you need to heal in your I am presence, our self-identity? So it's been a very big year. And we've all been processing our feelings this way so that we could kind of level up, right? And learn to see the whole of humanity and the whole world with a little bit more compassion and understanding and less judgment. And how do we do that? First, we have to learn how to not judge ourselves. Not to judge our negative feelings as bad, not to, demonize them and tuck them away or repress them, right? We've had to learn how to have compassion and empathy for others, because what I'm going through in Scorpio is what somebody else is going to go through in a different season, because they're a different sign and they'll go through it at a different time, and so on. And this teaches us that we really are all one humanity, just parts of the whole. It helps us to come to a point in humanity where we have equality, right? And you're asking yourself really big questions, Sagittarius, about this time, about your identity, about who you are, and asking some deep questions. Then, how do you bring that down to earth? How does it play out in your home, in your real life, and with the people that you gather with and get together with? Because when we're processing through really hard stuff and we get moody, we can get into conflicts and arguments with others who are also going through 6 planets in retrograde, right? And ups and downs in the economy and moving here and there. We're all going through our stuff. So it can cause conflicts with others. That's normal. In friendships, in relationships with family, 3 of Cups, the people we normally really enjoy being with, well, there may have been some conflicts recently, right? Retrogrades. So just understand the seasons that we've been through. Because if you can do that, you can take the judgment out of it, right? And come to a different formation of the way that you come to having good judgment about what is going on in your life, right? Having good judgment is different than judging ourselves or others for what we're going through and how we deal with it. So instead, the formation here is about you allowing yourself to process through your stuff and allow others to do the same. And just to get through the conflicts, right? How? With kindness, reverence, gratitude, apology when necessary, empathy, right? All of those things we are having to practice right now, because humans are leveling up in the Aquarian age, aren't we? Page of Pentacles, so you're looking at how to do things differently. The Pentacle suit is about Earth, what we do in our real tangible world every single day. And with the page, it's something new. Doing something new, perhaps in relationship. If this has been in marriage or in a love relationship, how do we do this new? How do we get through these negative feelings, the feelings that are hard to let go of, and do it in a better way with the 5 of Cups? Because we love the people we love, right? And they're going through their stuff too. And they're going through different stuff at different times. When we get this, okay, as a whole, as a collective in society, when we can truly appreciate each of the 12 houses and the 12 seasons that we go through, we will have so much more compassion for each other, right? And this is something I think you're working with, right? You're telling yourself a very deep truth about the emotions we allow and the emotions we don't want to deal with, and why. And when I say emotion, it's not just our feelings, that's the internal. The emotion is the energy in motion that we display. So it's what you do with your feelings, right? And sometimes we don't know what to do with them. We don't process them very well because we repress a lot of them or ignore them, and it causes conflicts because it comes out in moods, right? In our moods, in moodiness. This is very human, and it's a time to be very humane. So what is forming within you about this deep truth, this understanding about your emotional truth? That idea, that new understanding is forming within you because you're willing to do the deep dive with the Hermit, to go a little uncomfortable for the wisdom in it. I love that for you so much, Sagittarius. And I truly do want to wish you kindness, reverence, and gratitude. Have an excellent new moon. Go deep, babe. Go deep. You can do it. All right, leave me a comment, would you? I'll be here for you next week. I'll talk to you then. Thank you so much. Take care. Bye-bye.